Okay.
So,
Now we're broadcasting on StreamYard. Ta-da!
yeah, thank you. I
You're
didn't know you
welcome.
could hit that. Good. Welcome to the April 19th episode of Survivor's Circle. And I've got a couple of things I wanted to bring up today. And other than that, which which really shouldn't take all that long, um, we're just going to have fun today. Welcome to everybody that's here. Too bad for those who aren't. You'll have to catch us later on YouTube. And how are you today, Maria?
I'm doing pretty good with just talking
Looks
about
like
all the
it's cooler
wonderful.
than usual. Looks like it's cooler than usual for you.
It is. I'm not real pleased with that either. I think the high today was
Hey,
58.
hey, it snowed here all day. So,
See, that's your
yeah,
fault.
yeah,
You live up there.
yeah.
It's your
Ro-
fault.
I think Ron did it. I think he sent it to us.
I think you did too. But that's okay because by the end of the week, it's going to be in the 80s.
Well, they're saying that it's going to be nice here later in the week, but I think I will. I'm not going to get my hopes up. it's just
Mm.
it's just not worth it. Uh,
Is
I
that
just
better, Ron? Ron said my mic is loud. Is that better?
yeah, okay.
There's our word of the day, by the way, from Eufy.
I should turn. I should probably turn. This. What's the squeak squeaks? Is that are your animals? Your birds are getting excited. Glad to,
Yeah.
they waited till the show started to begin their mating dance.
Well, at least it's not the tree frogs. Is that okay?
I
Ron
know.
said my microphone's
What
better.
did you do? Did you go out and machine gun them before you started? Shut up, you little bastards! Oh,
Well, we got our rain and then they shut up. So that's a good thing.
mm, that's too bad. I was enjoying their uh, concert for us. Well, I guess I'll just jump into. I came across something the other day that was actually that hopefully will have a significant output because it's something I've been thinking about for at least 6 years, probably more than that. And what it is the group that is backing this is like an Earth Day group.
Hmm.
So they chose Earth Day, which is next Friday, to suggest that everybody just take a day off and not buy anything. I call it red. Don't spend a red cent. I think it's better than having semi trucks at the border or running around the Washington D.C. I think we should all just say, we're not happy. We're not happy that you're not working on the things that we feel need to be addressed. So we're going to take a day off. We're not going to spend anything for one day. I'd like to see it go to 1 week, but I think if like 10 million people took one day and didn't spend a penny, I think that would get their attention a lot more than 20 semis circling Washington, D.C. And we don't have to go out in the cold and the rain and the wet and stand around on the street and worry about getting beat up. So we'll just do it the easy way. We'll see if we can really get their attention by hitting them where it hurts, in the pocketbook. Uh,
That would piss me off.
along with that, I have something that they had included in their posting from Arundhati Roy, the poet. I think I've heard of her before. And this is what she had to say. The corporate revolution will collapse if we refuse to buy what they're selling. Their ideas, their version of history, their notion of inevitability. Remember this: we may be many and they may be few. They need us more than we need them. Another world is not only possible, it's on its way. On a quiet day, we can hear it breathing. I kind of like that thought. I could have. I wish I'd written that myself. So, no, I mean, I've said this like for a long time. We've got to get their attention somehow, because they think they can just sell us anything. A while back, there was one of the advisors said, or one of the political heads of party, can't remember. We create the news. We tell you what's important, and it had the fact-free news, right? We'll tell you what we want you to know. We'll tell you what we want you to think, and if we keep telling you long enough and repeating the same thing enough times, people will believe it. I think they have succeeded in their successfully demonstrated that they actually can do that. So
You're exactly right. They've been doing it for many years.
Join me in Red Cent Friday.
Now I just got to remember.
I'll remind you.
Okay.
I'll post it. I'll post it everywhere.
Okay. Yeah, that ought to do it.
Scream it from the street corners.
Yes.
But I mean, there's so many. There's just so much going on now. I heard this morning that China was shutting down 2 of their major ports that carry a third of their output, or 40%. 300 million people are on lock. 300 million people in China are going on lockdown from I guess another COVID outbreak there. And
yeah, I've heard about that, but it's not anything that they're.
But it's going to create another backlog as far as supports are concerned, because it's already creating a backlog there, and once they, it's going to wait for them to. Well, they're down. The production is down, so those ships are going to sit there empty for maybe 90 days, and then they'll fill them up and send them all over at the same time. And we can't handle that kind of a surge in our ports, so they're going to be stacked up. I'll tell you, it's getting very obvious out there that the just-in-time situation is not as successful as it was once believed that it would be.
How much of it's done by design?
Well, I'm sure the prices aren't going to go down if there's a 90-day stop on anything. Chips, widgets, light bulbs, toilet paper. Oh my God! Thank God we have domestic toilet paper now.
Well, but the thing about it is, though, it's like this isn't a killer outbreak.
No.
and it's just bullshit that they can do. I mean,
Wait,
because China and
okay.
Russia love each other.
Oh my God! And look at the there's we're already a problem with produce in the United States. Prices are bouncing up, and I dare say it's because that there was miles and miles and days, 14-hour delay getting Mexican produce across the border last week. It's just, and we lose, they gain. That's the point. That's all there is to it. And they found this new wrinkle in the economy that, well, if this happens, we can do anything. We can charge whatever we want. And I think they need to realize that we're not going to put up with that forever. And I think this is a way to do it. I hope it's a way to do it. Somebody brought up something else that I was going about the mask mandate is over. You can now get on a plane maskless anywhere in the United. Well, it was supposed to be phased out May 3rd anyway. So, and myself, I wasn't figuring on flying anywhere anytime soon anyway. So I guess it doesn't matter,
Right.
I am shocked in a way because I didn't realize that one federal judge in a swamp surrounded court in Tampa, Florida, could override the entire federal government. I really didn't know that.
Sad part is that it took this long for it to get there.
Well, I'm waiting for someone to sue a common carrier because they caught COVID or whooping cough or tuberculosis or whatever on one of their planes.
Well, then they need to wear a mask. If they're that worried about it, they can wear it. It doesn't need to be mandated.
Yes, I have absolutely will. If should I need to, I will wear a mask.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
I mean, it's up to you. You shouldn't have your federal government trying to tell you what you can and cannot do as far as your health is concerned. Don't tell me that and see, there you go. If they're ruling this as unconstitutional, like for vaccines, things like that.
Well, apparently she put out a over 50-page edict on her thinking, and I have not read it. So it should be interesting. It should be interesting. It will be on my reading list, but don't hold your breath.
It's ridiculous. Our government overstepped. They knew they were overstepping. They knew there was nothing anybody could do about it because they did it. Mm-hmm. Then it's going to take this long for anything to come up to be. It's just, I hate the government. I hate them. Mm-hmm. Just don't like them. They are not for the people.
I think it was handled I'm trying not necessarily improperly, but in an insensitive manner, because it's the response. It's under the circumstances, wearing a mask is just the responsible thing to do.
If you want to protect your health,
yes,
yes,
or those of others. if I had it, when I had it, number one, when I had it, I didn't go anywhere. Okay.
Right.
And if I had to be out in the public, I would damn sure have worn a mask 100% of the time. And
Okay.
that's my response. Taking that on is my responsibility.
Right.
But to have someone order me
Mm-hmm.
to wear a mask
Mm-hmm.
in
Mm-hmm.
any particular time or place
Right.
doesn't necessarily sit right with me.
Right. Well, here's
But
Oof.
I look at it, since it was something I was going to do anyway, I'm not going to make a big fuss about it.
Oh no, I'm one of those. It's like, you just told me that I'm gonna have to do it. I was gonna do it anyways, but you told me I was gonna have to do, so now fuck you.
Yes. see why we get along so well?
So Oofy's like, well, Maria, the quote will come back to haunt you. Government should not be telling you what you can and cannot do as far as your health. And then she throws in, I lost it. What about the abortion stuff?
I don't know if I want to go there, but remember that case we talked about last week?
But see, there's two different things here, real quick.
There's yes.
Health.
Okay.
I didn't say anything other than health. So, but if that is something that is going to cause you to die,
okay,
and that's your decision too. That's your decision. If you want to carry a baby till full term and giving birth could kill you, or the whole time that you're carrying it, it could kill you. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do.
Okay. If somebody upstream,
that's as far as I'm going to go with that.
If somebody upstream wants to dump raw sewage in the river I live by, I think I should have something. There should be something to be said about that.
Yeah, I will say something about it. I don't need the government to do it for me.
But how are you going to do it?
I got a shotgun.
But see, the government wants to have a total license for violence, and we're not supposed to be able to do that.
Right.
See, that we're way behind. We're old school. You know. Yes, there was a.
That's why they're changing the schooling system now. They're turning them into them.
Oh, I can't. The governor of Florida banned, what was it, 50 math textbooks because they were too something or other. I don't know.
Yeah, and he shouldn't be allowed to do that.
What? You know, come on. Okay. You're going to outlaw mathematics in Florida. That makes perfect sense to me. There's absolutely nothing else in Florida that needs to be addressed more important than substandard math education.
Yeah, but we don't know the full story either. So they just tell us what they want us to hear.
By the headlines, I haven't read math, but believe me, if it's Common Core math,
it needs to go.
I'm probably in there too, but I don't think they're going to listen to me. I'm.
Oh, look. Andy says, and how now they're allowing abortions after birth. That's what happened to Epstein. It was legal in New York.
Just so it's clear that he didn't hang himself.
Right. Yeah. That's how they got away with it. It's legal in New York.
Mm-hmm. Oh my.
So anyway,
I don't even want to go with what's going on. I do have one eye open looking at what's going on in Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing I find fascinating about it is that even in the United States, there are definitely two versions of every move that's made that happens over there.
Oh, yes,
You know?
definitely.
And well, okay, maybe three. There's a corporate version, there's a right-wing version, and there's a left-wing version. You know?
Mhm.
And it gets so mixed up sometimes. I have to go back to the basics to figure out what to get any resemblance to a situation that fits into my confused reality. And I am absolutely shocked. I was shocked that, as were most of the extreme right wings, that the Ukraine was able to withstand the initial push, and that the Russians proved to be so incompetent.
Mhm.
I think there. I don't think there's any. I don't think there's any doubt about that. They thought they were having that was a cakewalk. They really thought it was going to be a cakewalk, and they. It was not a. This was not a. This was not just a demonstration. This was the Ukrainians took it sick.
Put the hands up there too.
Yes, the scream.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which we tend
No,
to do that
I
often.
didn't. I just didn't. I was shocked and pleased. Okay,
Mhm.
but it would be that would the equivalent of that would go back to the original assaults from Saudi Arabia into Kuwait
Mhm.
and Iraq.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay, Iraq. Um, if the United States had been stalemated at the border, okay, it was just that. You had a superpower against a failed state, as it were, and they tried to do it, and they were stalemated,
Mhm.
by their own uh, lack of hubris, I guess. I was it was shocked. I'm shocked by it. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I don't have a side, but I'm an interested spectator, because it changed. It really has changed the way the world looks at these situations,
Mhm.
and it may go down historically as the first international war, but that has changed the game. Okay, because this isn't World War II anymore. The
Right.
tanks don't rule the battlefield. The robots
Correct.
rule the battlefield, and
Mhm.
that is a change of greater proportion than anyone had anticipated.
True. That is true.
Yep. So somebody gets something wrong.
That's
Oh,
true.
right. We both clicked it at the same time.
Excuse me. I'm sitting here getting tickled because I don't have the door open for the animals to come in and out. It's a little bit cool, so I have just a little this much of the window. The cat went in the house through the
Mhm.
window open, and now she's sitting at the door, scratching at the window, wanting out.
Yeah.
Hers not real bright, apparently.
No doubt. No doubt. Been there, done that. Right before show, right before the show started,
Yeah.
I had to bring the dogs in and lock them up.
Oh, gotcha.
No, I didn't actually lock them up. Now I've knocked this thing over and I can't get untangled.
Yes.
Trouble.
Send Bill a box of spiders. That would be great. That would be worth it.
Ooh.
And you've got to have a little
Oh my
video camera in the inside of it
Oh my God.
to record that.
Like 20 little mechanical spiders that when you open the lid, they all jump out.
What was that movie that had Gene Simmons and Kirstie Alley in it? Early 80s. And it had these little mechanical spiders.
Oh. Was that Robot? Was that the one with Tom Selleck?
I think he was a cop. Yes.
Yes.
I think he was in that too.
I think it was Robot.
Is that what it was? I just remember they had little needles that would come out.
Oh, yes. Those were mind bending at the time.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And that was when Kirstie Alley was tiny. Hi, Jason.
Nope.
No, wasn't Jason.
Hi, Bill.
Are you messaging me right now on Messenger?
No.
Somebody hacked your account.
Again for the third time this month.
Yeah, I'm gonna block their ass.
Okay, guy.
Now.
Yeah,
Hi,
I got one for somebody else. Maria wants to say hi.
Hi, Bill.
What's happening?
We're having a show. I'm on the air.
Oh my gosh!
you're on the air.
Wow! I apologize for interrupting.
Oh no.
That's the best thing that's happened in a long time.
But you know what? I had to find out because I was like, this cannot be Charles? Because the person says, it's really nice to hear from you. Says,
Hell no. No, I would never start a conversation like that.
Well,
I'd say, Bill, did you hear about?
Yeah, I was like, what's going on? So, yeah. Well,
Oh, and we were just talking about you too.
Actually, we were. We were as you spoke, as you were dialing the phone, we were talking about you. We were talking about sending you a box of spiders. Oh, little jumping mechanical spiders. Not real ones.
Oh my gosh.
That would be cruel to the spiders.
Bill would know the answer to that question. The name of that movie.
Oh, do you remember the Tom Selleck movie that had
Yes,
Runaway?
Told you he
Yes.
knew.
Yes.
That Gene Simmons was in it.
Gene Simmons and who was this?
Kirstie Alley.
Kirstie Alley.
Yes. Yes. And it's funny because they had little robots.
Yep, with the little robot spiders. Oh my God, they were horrific.
It's bad enough that we have real ones. Now we need AI robot spiders.
Well, that'll be the next thing they'll turn loose in Ukraine.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, you guys have a great one.
We will. Thanks for calling, dude. Thanks for letting me put you on the air.
All right, listen, you guys have a great one. Talk to you soon.
Okay, will do. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, heck,
You had just sent me a link to StreamYard, and between that time, they've already hacked your account. You sent it to me through Messenger.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It doesn't. No, I've been hacked on 3 separate occasions over the last 2 months, I think. And it's funny. They even used my picture. One of them even did some Photoshop work and put a little heart on my. That was the one on around Valentine's Day. Put a little heart on my shirt. I wanted to grab that one.
Yeah.
So, I'll take advantage.
I think I had gotten a friend request from you with that one
Okay.
on a whole
Yeah.
new account. Yeah.
And they come and go.
Mhm.
You know, they get reported and they shut them down. And I got one from somebody
So
else.
tell me what they're doing. Why they do that? What are they doing?
I don't know.
What's the point?
I don't know what that gives. Supposedly, I mean, okay, obviously they can see your friends list, and then they send out, yes, passwords all changed.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I don't know what they gain. I mean, they gain friends lists and they can, but if you open their request and if someone sends you a fake request and you open it,
Mhm.
it doesn't. I do not understand what they're getting, what they're going after, what they get. Maybe we should have Andy on.
I have a different one for that, Oofy.
Oh, you can't blame the Canadians and the Canadian Club and Kamchatka vodka. Okay,
Need to do something.
I've got double confirmation on everything.
Oh, so you can track them. Gotcha.
Oh,
That's what Andy said.
Gmail.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay.
No,
Well,
I
I have a Gmail account, but it's not the one I use most of the time.
all my porn goes to my Gmail account, so I can't use that.
I did not realize Gmail allowed better tracking. That's a good idea.
Could use Proton Mail.
That's what I'm serious. Everybody should have like a internet security 101, version. Because I thought I used to be up to date on that I used to be up to date on that stuff, but I am not anymore. The sophisticated. In fact, I'm not up to date. I gave up.
Oh, okay? Yeah.
When my son and I were discussing building a power wheelchair in his garage, just the two of us privately, and nobody had a phone on or some quote unquote operational. And the next day, I get pop-up ads for personal mobility devices. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. They're even listening to me when I've got the phone turned off.
I know that I've heard a lot of the news people that have the independent journalists and stuff. They have their own websites and things like that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of the advertisement stuff that they can't control. They can't control it at all. So there's always these little pockets. So it's like if you pulled up their website and you had just say bought 3 shirts off of Amazon or something, you would find an advertisement somewhere in there for those same 3 shirts.
Oh, that I did that. I would never. I have found that to be somewhat useful. If I go on Amazon and shop around for something, okay, usually pretty narrowly, okay,
right,
and just say out of hell with it and go back and come. I get pop-ups with better deals than the ones I saw yesterday.
This is true.
And so far the ones of those I have, but you still have to do the right background.
Yes,
you have to go in and see. How many is this a new place? How many sales do they have? Read their reviews. But given that, I don't have a problem. Yeah, see, it happens over there too, Andy. Yeah.
Well, I know that they say
But
use DuckDuckGo for your search
the
engine
point is,
instead of
but the point is,
Google or Bing.
if you're just open, okay, like I've got a mic that's attached all the time. I may not officially be listening to something or engaged in a conversation with something, but they still, it doesn't seem to matter. It really doesn't seem to matter. And it's not necessarily just by a website. It's they're all assume. I think it's safe to assume that they're always listening. Okay. And
And thank God for Steve Jobs. Just saying.
Well, but I really went to that concept back in the 1990s when I was in the private investigations business, because I started looking into just what I could do. Not I could do, but what could be done. Okay. And I said, well, there is, and that was then. Okay. Back then I said, there's no privacy left. It's
Right.
not it's not a battle you can fight.
No.
And that was at that point. And I am sure that their capabilities have increased 100-fold since then. What? Oh, okay. Oh, the sound of cat quiet. Hey, nobody talking? What's up? Meow.
Well, she just figured out the window's open. She's mad. I forgot to buy
She's
her
mad
treats.
because you opened the door. Yes.
I don't have their treats out where she can get to them, so she's a little ill.
That's my secret too. I call the dogs once and they come right to the door for their puppy treats.
Yeah, she's a little mad at me right now. So.
They have me properly trained.
Yes, and I'll probably get up here in just a minute just so she'll quit.
Well, yeah.
Go give her her treats.
Obviously. I see the thing with the cats and dogs and goldfish and birds and all the rest, they keep us grounded. They keep us engaged in the real world rather than wandering around in e-space, like I did today. I got up and sat down at the computer, and 6 hours later I said, what? How can it be 5 o'clock already?
Well, I had muted my mic, and I'm glad I did that just in time because the dog was laying over here, and apparently she's a little gassy. That was a little loud.
Oh, no, you're right. At least you were outside. At least you were outside.
Oh, you ain't kidding. The ones I can hear are okay. It's the ones that you don't hear are the ones that get you.
Guaranteed.
So, yeah. Oh, Andy, honey, let me tell you something. If I farted, you're going to hear it because I'm going to share the wealth.
Oh, I suppose for myself, I'd have to get up and leave the room.
Don't light a match in here.
That's for sure.
Bourbon farts. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, Oofy. Bourbon farts.
I missed this one, but it's interesting.
Uh-oh. Is that the one that it pitched the other one out in front of the car as it flew off? Kind of like kicked it.
Oh my. There's just so much going on with I guess I like the shocking craziness of the internet sometimes. And you just have to look at it and you shake your head, you know. Especially when, like, you mean somebody actually did that?
That's that's why I watch that show, Ridiculousness on
Oh,
MTV.
I love that. I love that show.
The stuff that people put out there just amazes me, and the stuff that they do to other people.
Hmm.
If
And they
there's
basically get away with it.
how do you, there's half that stuff. If somebody did that to me, ooh,
Yeah, yeah, yep.
would not be good.
No,
Would not be good at all.
but
But
I'm sure your reaction would go viral.
that could be a
Oh,
good thing and that could be a bad thing because that sailor comes out of me, construction worker. The
mhm.
sailor with the accent of the construction worker comes out pretty quickly.
This should be interesting. When was
Yes.
the
That
that was back in the 80s, wasn't it?
that was late 80s, early 90s, I think.
Yeah. God,
I didn't care for
that
it
was
and
it was strange, but mostly entertaining. But the thing is, I think that was one of those. Well, we're going to put this out there, and we're going to make the concept of a computer consciousness taking over things. We're going to make that ridiculous. We're going to make that less of a threat than it actually is.
right.
And because I necessarily think that was and continues to be a threatening situation.
Mhm.
And the point is, I mean, I go back to the original movie. I think it was called Colossus, where they had
Yeah.
this giant warehouse-sized computer that was going to run the world. You know,
Oh yeah.
and here's the offspring.
Ta-da! It worked.
Yes, you know. Um, yeah, at least at this point, apparently,
There
it
you
hasn't
go.
decided. It hasn't decided to put us out of take us out yet. You know, it isn't ready to take over.
Yet. So I was watching Ancient Aliens yesterday,
Oh my god. Okay.
and it was talking about, you know how a lot of these other countries, well, even here, but the majority of the biggest upsets. el- Oh, girlfriend, you are not kidding. I would love to have one of those and just sleep for about 2 days, and it would just take one because I've never had one. Wipe me out. Edible Tuesday. That's what we need to start doing.
I have never tried those either.
Man, if we can ditch Mitch, maybe we'll have some.
If it will get rid of my freaking the arthritis in my shoulder, I'd be high all the goddamn time. Oh, anyway.
Honey, that stuff will really break your give a damn, and I kind of need some of that without the stress with it.
So, where were you before I interrupted you?
Oh,
You ancient aliens.
oh yeah, ancient
See on
aliens.
Ancient Aliens.
Had something to do with so what if the aliens are programming us to attack each other? The riots, war conflicts. Who would that be? What race would that be?
That would be the reptilians.
Yeah, but see, they want to say Elon Musk is a reptilian, and he just wants to fly and
Yeah,
make cars.
he just wants to go back to Mars. So if let's call him a Martian. This guy's he's a Martian.
He's just autistic.
I hope not. I hope this is our own cultural anomaly that's doing this. I think it has deep roots. This military industrial complex, the way that it channels power to those higher structures in the society. I think that's I think that's something we learned, or not we as in you and me, but we as race, we as a hierarchical situation have learned. It's a power structure. I think it's part of the power structure. And it does, I am thoroughly convinced that power structure is fucking with us. Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
but I mean, okay, so you've got the different species of aliens that are fighting amongst each other, which is not any.
I really don't see any evidence of that. We don't see bright flashes in the sky where they're shooting each other down.
Hell, we wouldn't know what we're looking at.
Well, we're not seeing anything. No.
Okay, so they tell us that we have a meteor shower.
There are hundreds of telescopes up there. We've got a pretty good idea. I don't think. Let's assume that there is a group of widespread alien intelligences, at least up to the point where they have scouts or I think to say alien studies professionals keeping an eye on us. Okay. And I think that at this particular juncture in our progression, where we're becoming a planetary species, okay, we are all over the world. We are getting ready to take that step into space.
Okay.
I think that other extraterrestrial societies would find that immensely interesting. Okay, for pretty obvious reasons. But I don't think it would be allowed to. I mean, and assuming that there are other societies out there that have different ideas, they pretty obvious. They haven't fucking landed and taken over South Africa. Okay, so it said that tells me there are rules, that there's some rules going on, and I think among those rules is basically the non-interference rule, very much like what was found in Star Trek. Can't prove that. I can't show you a copy of their documents, but it's pretty obvious to me. I choose to believe. I can't prove it either. I choose to believe they're there.
Sure.
But I can't prove that they're really there. But if they're there, and I choose to believe that they're there, that tells me that there's some restraint in their activities. That's all.
And that's why. Okay, so supposedly they've decided to, before we nuked Japan, they had pretty much, I mean, after that happened, they were pretty much like, yeah, well, that's kind of a lost cause. So we'll just kind of hold back here and see what's going on after that. But, okay, there's speculation that the Greys they do the grunt work for the reptilians.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought they worked for the Mantids.
See, there you go. So, well, and it's kind of like, all right, so it's like, is it the lizards have the bugs working for them, and then the Greys are the little tubs
I
of goo
don't
that
know
work
if
for
it's
all of them?
necessarily a hierarchy like that. I think it, and I
Could
don't think you're going to find good guys and bad guys. I think there might be the scientists and the pirates. The pirates just want to cause hell.
Okay, so that just makes me think of Johnny Depp, and I just don't think that's going to happen with an alien. But I don't know. I mean, you've got too many of us here, and we can't walk past each other in the street without wanting to smack the shit out of the other one. So it's got to be the same way. Because you can't tell me reptilians are nice.
Do you think we have to be that way though?
Do we have to be that way?
Yes.
No. But that was another thing that they were talking about with that show. We're not made that way.
No,
we don't come out of the womb that way. What happens? Is it society? Is it aliens? Is it?
Yeah, I think it's a part of the culture. I think it's the culture, the enculturation that we're indoctrinated with, that brings out the worst in us. Because there's this cult of the other. You can't have it's. Some of these people believe that you cannot maintain a coherent society without an external threat.
Mm-hmm.
That was the conversation between Ronald Reagan and not Andropov. What was his the guy with the map on his forehead? Oh my God! Anyway, the Russian premier at the time. Well, if the aliens are coming after us, will you side with us and help us?
Well, okay, so all of that, and they had Eisenhower's great-granddaughter on.
Yes.
And she was confirming meetings and things like this that happened. And so, okay, we haven't canceled her out yet. We've got this wonderful. Tell me that. Okay, all right. We're going to go to the cancel culture.
Okay, cancel culture? Sure.
We're going to go to that. You put something out on Twitter, Facebook, some kind of bullshit like that. Oh, real quick. Oofy, every damn one of them in my area is freaking alien. Just saying.
Okay.
And Baptist, I swear to God. Anyway. God, that like totally threw me. So, but they're not, if you pay attention to some of the stuff that's put out there that you think that is just absolutely out of this world,
yes,
could not be true whatsoever.
Totally jumped the shark. Yes.
And nothing happens to them. It's not. They're not canceled out. Their tweets not deleted. They're not fact checked. They're nothing.
Nope.
But you put something that's actually real, that's actually happened, and it doesn't fit their narrative, and they shut it down.
They'll shut you down like that.
So are they leaving stuff up like that because they think that nobody will believe it? It's too far out there. You can't. What are they doing?
What do you think? Do you think they would possibly involve themselves in disinformation by oversharing false narratives that happen to fit their evil aliens? Nah.
Just makes me wonder. Because there's stuff that I've seen.
I say that with tongue in cheek because
yes,
there have been hundreds of instances where they have done exactly that.
Yes.
You know, so it's
You-
just another tool in their tool chest that they have overused, I think.
Yeah. I just it's all used for an agenda anyways, and it's
What was his name? What's the rock star's name that's no longer involved with the ATEP program?
oh,
Tom DeLonge. Tom DeLonge was one. Where the
he was
hell
a diversion from
where the
hell.
hell did he come from? You know what I'm saying? Oh, I did a quick study over 2 years. I learned everything there was to know about UFOs. Real and I walked right into the Pentagon and talked to these major generals and stuff. Dude.
You know, it's like you don't hear of the major players of a lot of the stuff that's going on. We just don't hear about them because but I'm like you. Out of the blue, here he comes. Luke
And then
comes out of there. I mean, and it's like
and with his cadre of how many were 646 whatever.
right. So how much did they pay him?
Super secret heads of departments and stuff coming through.
How much did they pay him to be the diversion? How much did they pay him to be the fall guy? And it just it
Well,
it just
I think as a fall guy, I think he fell himself. I think he set himself on fire when he was toking down with one of their other proteges that has
all I heard was toke. What are you talking about?
he was smoking dope on the air with, come on, somebody help me.
I've not heard about this.
The same radio show podcast that Elon Musk had a few puffs with.
Howard Stern?
No, not Howard Stern.
Post Malone?
Come on, guys. Yeah.
This is the first time I've heard of it.
I've drawn a total blank. I can see the announcer for Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan?
Thank you, Justin. It was Joe Rogan.
Dude, that makes me happy. Rogan smokes pot. That's on my bucket
God.
list.
He's into the whole. He's beyond that.
Is he baked?
He's got his own like isolation bed.
I'm jealous. Okay, so of all the things on my bucket list, just somebody give me $2 million. I'll leave everybody the hell alone, and I just need my own room. Just
with the warm salt bath in the darkness, lying there for
man, just whatever. Whatever.
I don't know.
I do. I'm with Justin. I love Joe Rogan. I love him.
I don't know if I'd ever want to come back. just close the goddamn.
You got $2 million. You ain't got to come back.
Well, yeah, I'd have to come back and spend a part of it.
No, you just build something out in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, okay.
And you hire some people to take care of the outside and make sure nobody tries to come inside, and only let your dealer in when you want them in, and it's all good.
Okay. Gosh, I didn't realize you could do that for that cheap.
Hey.
Oh, wait a minute. Maybe they're no. I'm not.
You don't have to build a $4 million mansion. Just build you a little concrete.
I don't even think Epstein was able to do that on Pedo Island. You know.
Epstein had other things on his mind, dear.
Well, yes, I'm sure he did. Whatever happened to those tapes? God knows that was his business. You know, that's why he got let off the first time going through the court system with a little slap on the wrist. And he was his 2 years that actually ended up 13 months of he had to sleep at the jail every night, you know.
Oh, bless it.
Oh,
Hey, we've not heard anything about what's her face, Maxwell.
I know. That's another one.
Funny how that just
There
kind
are
of fell
so
off the
many. There are
radar.
so many of those sorts of things. There was something else that was supposed to come up. A sentencing that was supposed to come up. Was it the 29th of last month? Was that hers?
I don't know.
And it
I
just
don't know.
that never mind. Never mind.
Yep, exactly.
On to the next thing, you know.
You know, a girlfriend of mine, we talk about all this stupid shit all the time, and we'll send each other stuff that's kind of off the wall, and it's like we're going to keep this here for safekeeping so we can refer back to it later.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her we could put my house, her house, and probably a whole freaking subdivision together and write all the information, that little tidbits of stuff that's come out that means something, but they don't tie it to anything. And if you don't know about it, then you don't know to tie it. I said, this would go on forever and we would lose our minds. And the house 2 miles down the road is going to have the other tidbit information that we have over here on the wall. It's just, it's all together. It all means something, but we don't know enough to put it together. And then if we did, what are you going to do with it?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, you could draw it all out for everybody, and it's either going to get you killed.
Yes.
Or get you institutionalized.
Oh, there's worse than that. They can make you disappear.
That's about the same thing.
Seriously disappear.
Yeah.
I will say, at least in the people who talk about digital banks and what's going to happen if we have digital currency, okay? And poof, all of a sudden, all your money disappears. Guess what, people? They can do that now. They can't take the nickel out of your pocket, but anything that you have in the bank, you don't have that. Okay.
That is. So that's.
I can say that because of my own particular experience.
Oh yeah.
Working on a case that they didn't want me to work on. Not that I found out any earth-shattering bit of information about it.
Right.
But somebody called and said, don't work on that case anymore.
Right.
And I checked my bank account and it was empty. Well, actually it was
frozen.
Not even frozen. I went to the teller at the bank that I banked at every week, and I can't find that account.
Oh yeah, it just disappeared. Yep.
You're gone. I don't understand. I'm looking at you right here. I can see you, but that account doesn't exist anymore.
That was on a movie. What was it? Live Free, Die Hard.
Okay.
Or Die Hard, Live Free, whatever it was. Bruce Willis.
Okay.
And it was while he was talking to the bad guy in this movie. He's like, remember your little 401k? It's gone.
Yes.
I just deleted everything out. You have nothing. It's all gone. And it's like, but if you'll give me what I want, I will make you the richest man in the world. All with a touch of a button.
Yep. But I made a phone call to the client and said, yeah, we're going to have to drop this one. We've got as much information as you need right now. And we're going to let that go.
Yeah.
And a couple of days later, everything was back to normal.
Yeah. And it's almost like you really, really, really want to find out what's going on. But you can't. You know, it's like,
you understand the cost of that information.
mhm.
But this obviously was not. I'm sure this was not a high level thing. This was very minor. Okay, and it was just well, one of those code 37. I'm
Exactly.
telling you, it was done with such elegance and effortlessness that it was breathtaking.
Good night, Lorraine.
Love you, Lorraine. Take care, babe. It's
I'm
just
so
like
jealous of her. Really.
oh, you want a nice.
Yeah, I want that edible.
Oh, okay. I thought just wanted a nice little cottage on the beach.
No, I just want the edible.
Where you can watch
I'm simple.
where you can watch the icebergs float by.
No, I don't know. Shit, that's too damn cold. If I'm going to sit somewhere, if I'm going to have a cottage on the beach, it's going to be in the Caribbean.
Well, she had a post the other day that they had caught a juvenile polar bear just outside of town, and they'd had to helicopter it back to proper area. Oh my god!
Yeah, the problems.
I like the woods and the wilds, but I don't think I'm quite ready for that one.
So, what would life look like if I had an edible or a cottage on the beach?
Mm.
Tell me. An edible? I don't know. I wouldn't remember.
Yeah, there you go.
I just wouldn't remember.
I see. I'm an inland guy. I've never spent. I've been to the ocean, and I wasn't terribly impressed. That's all I can say.
What I absolutely love, and I enjoyed it so much in the Caymans.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
You can just swim and just look clear
Yes.
water. It's like a swimming pool. It was just absolutely beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
If I had anything like that, I don't know if I'd necessarily be on the beach or if I'd not want my little thing right in the middle, like up on stilts, to where I could just watch it.
You just want a
Oh,
bubble.
if I had a life or
want
a
a
real
bubble
life.
with those windows all around, where you can just sit down and watch the parade of underwater wildlife.
No. I want to look down. I don't want to be in it.
Oh, okay. I would definitely.
Glass would break.
I would definitely like the dome. I would love the dome myself.
Yeah, I don't want to be anywhere where glass could break and I could, I just want to be above it, put my toes in it, whatever. If I had a real life, I don't know. If I had a real life, I wouldn't have a clue what to do. I guess I'd be having a good time. What was that? Was a real life? That was on MTV back in the late '80s, and that was when the MTV quit playing videos and music. And Justin, honey, yes, you will.
Yep. With a greater appreciation, my buddy.
I'm actually gonna. I just keep giving him shit, just whatever.
No
sympathy, no mercy. Oh yeah, he doesn't like hurricanes either. Apparently, is that the drink or the storms? Mm-hmm. I do that every day. Okay, the storm. Yeah, that is something I do not. Tornadoes are much easier. They come and go. Hurricanes last forever. They just don't stop. They last for hours.
So was that Jamaica a couple of years ago that had that one that like sat on the North Island for days and days and days, almost a week, and there was just practically nothing left when they were.
But you know what amazes me with those places like that? They're are so big with tourists.
Mm-hmm.
They are up and running in no time. I mean, it's like it amazes me because I can remember going to the Bahamas and just like a week before a hurricane had gone through, and it was like, don't look over here, look over here. You know, this is where all the destruction is, but over here's all the pretty stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was crazy. And it's like they never skip a beat. And if they don't have that tourist money, oh, what was it? Hurricane Maria that went through.
Well,
It wiped out. God, it wiped out a whole. I mean, it was miserable. Where was that? It wasn't. It was.
Was it Bermuda?
No.
Which one was?
Bermuda.
Okay, give me a.
It's another. We actually kind of acquaint it to being in the U.S., but it's not a state.
Puerto Rico.
Yes.
Yes.
Completely devastated that place. Yes. And I mean, there were people there that was trapped for months on end, and they couldn't get any kind of help.
Just last season, they had one went through. Oh God, Hispaniola. It's the island. San Juan.
Okay.
And what's the word? What's the country I'm looking for? Where they had the big earthquake too.
Taiwan.
Port-au-Prince, Haiti.
Oh, yes. Yeah, Haiti.
Yes, yeah. That was, and then the big thing, just this last spring or something, or last summer, or, I can't remember, was all the Haitians coming across the border from after the revolution there.
Right.
Okay. And that was related to a double hurricane plus the earthquake, plus they were still in ruins from the earthquake.
Mm.
And then there was basically a coup d'etat. The government took over, and the new government took over, and it's and one of the poorest countries in the entire Caribbean.
Right.
When a hurricane hits a major tourist area,
mm-hmm.
with the condos and all the rest that are built to withstand it,
right?
That's a big difference between that and made up shacks covered with blue tarpaulins.
Yes. Yes.
It's just two different worlds. It's really two different worlds.
It is. And thank God we've got FEMA.
Well, somebody to throw us a roll of paper towels.
Yeah, exactly.
God. That's okay. Anyway, I like the idea of there being a FEMA, but I really would rather like the idea of being able to trust that the other people in the society of which I am a part are going to be there for me. I mean, we had that in New Orleans. FEMA may not have done a wonderful job, but there were thousands of people from the northern areas that were there to help.
You
Okay.
know, it usually takes FEMA 3 or 4 days to respond, and a lot of I don't think people understand too, and it's all that damn red tape that a state has to go through, a city, a county, whatever,
Yeah.
has to go through to get that federal assistance. So,
It,
yes, it took FEMA
it's, a,
3 days to get
it's a
water to
big
the
thing.
Superdome.
It's a big thing that takes a long time. So there's a lot of bureaucratic inertia in order to get it going.
Right. Yeah,
Uh,
it's a big deal.
yeah.
And it shouldn't be. It really shouldn't
No,
be.
it really shouldn't be. I
Especially
mean,
when it's
that's like as you're speaking of the Superdome. There were National Guard helicopters, in the vicinity, okay, that should have been bringing that shit in the next day, you know,
the bad part
and they're
about that is
but
that
they're not allowed to until
it
it's
wasn't really that. They were still trying to rescue people. Um, and then the mayor
yeah.
completely screwed that whole thing up. If
Mhm.
he there were there was no reason why all those school buses were still parked when they could have been loaded with people and taken out of that city. But yet, no, he did not do that. He was being a complete and total ass about that.
Uh-huh.
And the people,
Well,
they suffered for that.
I remember, I just read this. It was like a memoir from a young man who was like 16 at the time, who
Mhm.
had hotwired a school bus and driven it full of refugees from New Orleans into
Mhm.
Houston.
Mhm.
Stole the freaking bus. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people are
I
assholes.
mean, he did, but so what?
Yeah.
So what? Let's
But
pick,
that was one of the
let's find a jury to convict him out of those 50 people that were on the bus.
right. And that's the thing. Whenever they showed the pictures when they went and all those school buses were still sitting there
Yep.
and they were not utilized. And then you had all these people on their rooftops for days on end.
Mhm.
Number one, they didn't leave because they didn't have the money to go.
Yeah.
So all those buses, and yes, you're going to have to put a lot of cops on those buses too, because these are not so nice people. But a bus could have gone through there. I mean, they could have lined them all up.
Yep.
And they could have gone through there and picked up all those people and taken them somewhere.
Well, the
And
thing,
they didn't do
they
it.
knew it was coming.
Yeah, they
You
knew
know,
it was coming.
They knew 4 days, probably 3 or 4 days out. They didn't know necessarily how bad it would be. They
No,
didn't know the levees were going to fail.
right.
But you don't wait, you know?
And he could have cared less. That mayor could have cared. And another thing too, and I think what I find is funny is I remember seeing a TV show, and I don't remember what the name of it was or what it was about, other than they were talking about the walls or the doors that they had built for that specific purpose. And I remember specifically them saying that they had only built those for up to a Category 3 hurricane.
Okay.
Why would you do that? Why? You do Cat 5. It's just, it made no sense to me. And I was like, that is just insane.
Yeah. Yep.
But anyway, that's just how it is. And I could be done bitching. What about you?
Well, it's like so many things, really.
Mhm.
You know, the weak points in our civilized society. Look at Texas a couple of years ago. You know, not this winter, but the previous winter when they had the big power failures.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's been a few winters ago,
those,
hasn't
I thought it was 2 years ago.
it? Seems
But
like forever ago.
yeah.
Could have been.
But anyway, only because I remember reading some of the reports that were supposed to be out very soon, just a few months ago. And this was talking about the event that happened over 15 months ago. So we're talking about the vulnerabilities that they had were exactly the same vulnerabilities that they'd had break the system down in a smaller way like 10 years before. Okay. And they had done absolutely nothing to correct the problems that they had found in 2012, say. Okay. And we've got the same problems with the grid in the United States right now. We've got the same supply chain problems. If there were a major CMT event like the one that happened in the 1800s, okay,
They keep talking about that. It's like they're trying to prepare us for something.
except they're not preparing for it themselves.
Correct, okay? But it's like, look, people, y'all gonna be out of power.
Big $1 million transformers that would blow out.
But you know what? If they'll just shut the power off, if they'll just shut everything down before it comes in, then
they would have to have warning to that. Okay, it's like
they got about 3 days.
It's like is it Mount Etna in Italy, the big, or Vesuvius? Okay, they'd been saying for years and years and years and years and years, well, there's going to be a big blow. There's going to be a big blow. And everybody got around where, well, we're not. Okay, yeah. You always say that.
Yeah.
And then finally there was one.
Right.
And the geologist said, well, we told you.
I would like
and this time we were right. So you want to yell at us? No, absolutely. But the same thing with the CMT, the emergent, whatever.
CME.
CME.
Coronal mass ejection.
Coronal mass ejection, or the, it's a vulnerability. It's a known vulnerability. The ports are a vulnerability. They're a known vulnerability.
Right.
The whole infrastructure system is band-aided together. I mean, it really is, because
if it's easy,
a commercial provider is not going to do a damn thing maintenance-wise or improvement-wise to harden, because if company A does it and company B doesn't, okay, company B is going to get rich and company A is going to go broke. So it has to be something that was done that's done by regulation as a general. This is the floor. This is the platform from which we build. Okay, we have to have these safety protocols in place in order to have because see, that's what corporations are about. That was the origin of corporations, was that they were given a government license, of companies, in fact, a government license to exist. But they had to meet certain specific specifications in human rights or whatever in order to keep the playing field level. Okay. And that really, a lot of that came out of the colonization of America, of the Americas, by the English, in order to have a the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, the Commonwealth of, okay, those were rules under which they had to play, because a lot of the original colonies failed. Jamestown failed. The original Georgia colonies failed. People were, I just read this or heard this very lately, like 6 out of 10 of the colonists that were sent over in the first colonies died. You know, and the crowd said, "Oh, no, we can do better than that." You know, because the commercial backers that were doing this said, "We want you to go find gold, just like the Spanish did." Okay, and this is what we'll equip you to do. Well, there wasn't any. There wasn't much. There was no gold, so they were pretty much left on their own with no resources and no backing, because their commercial backers said, see ya, as they sailed back to England, you know? Yeah,
that's true.
So that is a lot of the historical background to those licenses. And I got no problem with that. Because if and it's not to say that even under those systems there weren't abuses, but it's better than nothing, you know? You've got to create the floor. You know, beyond this, there's, you know, you cannot go beyond this without repercussions. That I don't see a problem with that.
I just need to shut it down before it comes in and wipes us all out.
Yes. There you go.
Yeah.
You know, I'm hardening. I remember reading somewhere that they were saying that hardening the electrical system would cost like, and it seemed like an incredible number, you know, like $800 million. Suddenly, that's not such a big number, you know, because the alternative, that's looking at a country like the United States waiting for 4 or 5 years to get back on its feet after a cascade catastrophe, waiting for the new big transformers that they don't even build anymore to, recreate them out of what? With what? It's a problem.
No, I mean, it's not a big decision. It's like if something like this is coming in, if you start shutting down all those power grids, yeah, we're going to be out of power for a few days, but once it goes by, we'll have power again, and we don't have to wait for all of this. So, that bill again.
Nope.
Anyway,
the hackers have me already. That was probably your check on my car insurance or
extended warranty.
Extended warranty, yes.
Yeah, that's always great. It's always great. It's always great.
I don't know. Maybe I should start saying, "Why, yes, I have one with your company." Would you like me to send you the bill I just got?
Sure, go for it.
Oh, yeah, well, anyway, R2D2.
It sounded like, wasn't it?
I like that ringtone because it gets my attention from anywhere in the house.
Oh, yeah, that'd do it.
So
I have to change mine every so often, but or used to. But now that they've got the old telephone ringing,
oh my, yeah,
I've got that, and I never have to think about oh, that's a telephone call. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I've got a couple of things that I just like. and it drove me crazy for about a week. I was chasing all over, trying to, what is beeping? What is that? And that's all it would do. And then maybe an hour later,
There it again.
I thought, what could that be? I finally found out it was on the remote on my my car. Okay, little key fob remote.
Yeah.
Has a rechargeable, as a port to charge the battery. Okay, it's pretty nice piece of equipment, very sophisticated.
Yeah.
The guy care. Okay, but anyway, that's all it does. And I would look for, okay, it sounds like it's over there, and I would look and there. I don't know. I can't figure out what it was.
Right.
Because you want it to beep again, and of course it never beeps again while you're.
Not when you want it to.
Until one day it beeped when I actually had the keys in my hand. I was just getting ready to leave. Oh, that's what it is.
That's what it is. That's so funny.
But there's so many, there's the particular little beep when a YouTube channel puts up a notice. There's the beep when I get an email.
Yes. There's always a beep for something.
Beep everything. Yeah, I think you're right. I think we do need that isolation cabin in the back.
We really do. We really do.
Leave all that stuff behind.
That's right. We really do.
And there was something about, what was that? Yes. From the Arundai Roy, quote, on a quiet day, we can hear it breathing. I want that. I want that. I want that quiet day where I can hear the earth breathing.
There are times that I can just come out here and stand, especially after a rain, a day or two or whatever, because it just doesn't drain here very well because of all the clay. But if you just stand there for just a little bit, you'll hear the water moving in the ground.
Yep.
And it's pretty awesome that you can still hear that. It pisses me off. It takes so damn long for the ground to drain, but you can seriously hear it.
You can hear the stalactites forming underneath the ground.
Yes. Thank God for Mammoth Cave. They should have plenty.
Oh my God, yes. Anyway, good grief. We've just about done another show.
Ooh, we have. We've done it.
Gabbing and having fun.
Yeah. We did that last week. We went forever.
I know. It's relaxing. It really is. And I get to get some of this stuff off my chest.
Yeah. That's true.
Get out of my head.
Yes, you can do that. Yes.
So I just want everybody to remember Red Scent Friday. I would love to see that successful, because that event, I think that's the best tool we have. And I think it will be far more effective than anything else I can really imagine.
Oh yeah.
It's not like they can't round us, all 107 million of us up and put us in Walmart or whatever,
They just send in
You're gonna stay here till you goddamn buy something.
They'll just send in a CME, take all our power away for a while. Yeah.
Hopefully that's not.
Thanks, Ophi.
Hopefully they understand that that will hurt them more than it will, as much as it will us. So.
Yeah. Doubt it.
And you picked the wrong name. You are definitely not clueless today.
So I feel clueless. I've not had much sleep last night, and I'm probably should be on some medication, but I'm not.
You're just trying to get somebody to send you a couple of gummies.
If I could do it, dude, I would. But yeah, can't do that and keep a job. So
Yeah.
just one of those things. But yeah, I was kind of surprised that I still had my voice this evening. So we'll see about what tomorrow brings.
There you go.
Wonderful springtime in Kentucky.
Don't worry, dear. Summer's coming.
Not fast enough. Well, yeah, fast enough because it's going to be 80 degrees Friday, Saturday. Mm-hmm.
Time to get out the shorts.
Ooh, not in public. Not with these white legs. No, 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 no.
Oh,
It'd be ugly.
I wear shorts a lot in the summertime, but I don't get out enough to get. I would love to have a good tanning.
Yeah, I need.
Just have to work. I'll just have to work on that.
I'd like to if the damn temperature would stay above 50.
Yeah, there's that. I don't understand. I remember the year I went to Colorado to ski. And that was in late March.
Mm-hmm.
And I set a beach chair out behind my garage and was able to get a tan before I went on that trip.
Mm-hmm. I tell you what, you can go if you could.
And it wasn't. It was Ohio, and it must just have been a particularly nice March. Because I can't imagine being out there today when it was snowing in mid-April.
If you could handle the cold weather and go to Colorado, wherever there's snow, it doesn't matter where there's snow, and that sun hitting that, you would get burnt to a crisp in no time.
And I did, because the year previous to that, I went to the Northern Rockies and spent a week basically outside skiing, and my face and hands were sunburned so badly that it was absolutely, by the end of the week, it was absolutely miserable.
Definitely.
And plus those two things, plus the altitude.
Mm-hmm.
The altitude makes the UV is stronger at high altitudes.
Yes, definitely.
I said, nope, not going to do that again.
Yeah, done.
And I went out, and that year I had a wonderful vacation. Didn't have any problems with that. And it was really sunny. So you pays your monies and you takes your choices, I guess.
I have no idea what we're doing in chat, but we're doing signals now.
What are those? Andy, what did Andy post?
They look like the little things off of Star Wars. Those little fighters.
TIE fighters?
That's what they remind me of. Huh? I don't know what those are.
I'm afraid I don't want to know what those are. Oh gosh. Anyway.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah,
it's a coded conversation, and we're not allowed to.
Between Ufi and Andy, yeah, that's probably okay too. We probably don't need to know what that is. Oh, it's a spider.
Oh, was that saxophones?
They're spiders.
Oh, okay.
Because she put the web out beside of it. Before, to me, they look like those little starfighter things in Star Wars.
Okay. I remember that was is that from a video game? With the little
No.
Oh, but that was. The old little spiders
Oh.
that came down, and then you would try to
Marco,
shoot a gun and shoot them.
honey,
Marco, you now you show up.
again, second.
We're getting ready to close it down, guy.
Yeah, he
You'll
comes.
have to watch the rerun. But you missed a really good show.
That's what Oofy said. Anyway.
Yeah. Take you. Yuffie is a good. Yuffie is a wonderful reviewer.
Yeah.
If you
She's
don't
very
believe
good.
that, if you don't believe that, you just have to read her book of reviews.
You know, and it's like, if you'll hang on just a minute, I'll come back and we'll find something else to talk about for about 15 minutes, but I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. We will keep things going. Yes. Yeah, I found Yuffie's book quite entertaining. It's really some really rich reviews on different things and other commentaries, and it can be found on Amazon. I think it's the only Ufi Atori as an author there. Either that or she's going to go strangle the cat. I'm not sure which. One or the other. Either that or a refill on the bourbon. But I suppose you're probably right. Jessica is live in 20 minutes. Could you put where is she these days? I know I think she's no longer on KGRA. She must be over somewhere else. Put a link in there if you can, Andy. Tell CT not to spend it till it shows up. We try. Well, we do appreciate you here. We appreciate. I very much appreciate your friendship and your creativity. Some days you make my day. Other days you just make me confused. So until Maria gets back, I just came to a realization. I'd always been in favor of reinstating the fairness document, or the fairness doctrine, which is where if you have one political side making a statement on your network or on your station, you were required to offer a possibility of rebuttal. And you would think, and really, I think it's probably not a bad way to do business, but all that came from the licensing of the airwaves, and almost nothing goes by airwaves anymore. It's all pretty much, we're cable based rather than airwave based anymore, and there are no licensing, so there are no controls. So that just is never going to happen again. So I gave up on that, on reinstating that doctrine. You just have to do your own work and figure it out yourself. So we're all on our own.
That sounds like work. No, I had to get you can probably hear the dog chewing, but she was wanting some food, so
Oh,
gotta take care of Sadie.
Really?
I guess she eats me out of a damn house and home. But anyway. No, Marco, I didn't have to flush the bubbles. I didn't have to do it this time. Didn't have to do number 2. We had to get the dog
priorities. You know.
Yeah. Had to
The
take
dog-
care of the dog.
The dog gets priorities.
Dog always gets priority.
You would just have to wait. Oh my gosh.
Get me a porta potty out here or something. I don't know. Potty chair. There we go. That took care of it. So,
Jeez.
Marco,
Oh, wow.
take us on a tour of your trailer. No, they all look the same, honey. They really do. They all look the same.
Oh my God.
But at least I'm on stilts. I mean, at least you can see
Really?
what I'm looking at. There you go.
Oh my God.
That's part of it.
What was that thing? What's that thing? A yurt. There was a legend of a walking yurt in Russia on the steppes. Okay, it was a house that walked.
Oh,
on
nice.
stilts. It was quite an interesting mythology.
Was it armed?
No, just legged.
Rim shot. Cribs.com trailers.
Oh God.
Oh Lord, that made me snort.
It's all those pictures that seem to show up for me on Facebook of tiny houses, you know. Oh, this beautiful $60,000 4x13 home. Are you fucking kidding me? Prisoners get more floor space.
Oh, they really do. They do. And I can remember I read something you see all the time about how great these tiny homes are, and they just load them up in the truck and they just take off. And then it's like 6 months later, you see an article saying, man, we don't have any place to put nothing. I mean,
oh my God.
duh.
Yeah. I would need like a follow-on trailer of like a 14x40 follow-on, you know.
Yes, exactly.
Just to
Exactly.
keep my stuff in, you know.
Mhm.
Oh, was that a George Carlin joke? That's
Oh
my
God,
stuff, man.
yes.
I can't go without my stuff. I need more stuff.
George
Can't get rid of
Carlin,
my
that was
stuff.
awesome. Oh, that's like me. I'm pissed off because my truck's too long. I can't put it in my garage now. Bought a vehicle,
Poor
can't
planning.
shut the door.
Poor planning, dear. Jeez.
I had a
Yeah,
Camaro.
renovate, knock out a wall or something.
Charles, I had a Camaro. It fit perfectly in my garage.
God.
Then the tornado decided I didn't need a Camaro anymore.
Yep.
So now I have a truck. And I don't have my red truck.
You downsized. You went from a truck and a Camaro to a
I had
nicer
my
truck.
I really miss my redneck truck. God, that truck was sexy. Just sexy. It was jacked up and it had the bars at the bottom where you could step up into it, and God, it was sexy. But anyway, now I have a little Colorado. Oh well.
Oh well.
It's better than a minivan.
You don't seem like a minivan girl.
Never have been. When I was married to
I
Dean's father, he wanted one of those Dodge Caravans, and I'm like, no, I'll burn it. You pull it up in the driveway, I'm burning it. Not happening.
I don't think I've ever owned a van. Pretty sure I've never owned a
I had
van.
an SUV. I had one of the good Blazers. I had one of the good Chevrolet Blazers.
The early ones, the small ones, and big ones.
The smaller one.
Yeah.
Man, it was awesome. Loved it. Loved it.
Yep.
But yeah. Anyways, I drove the hell out of it.
Mhm.
Had to get something else. Then I think, let's see, what happened to that one? I traded it in I sold it. And I bought a Firebird. Had T-tops.
Oh,
I like
well, that's a good move.
that was a good move. I liked it.
Let's see. I don't think I've ever owned any. I never was never really a fan of the Camaros or Firebirds. I think partly because I might have looked at them and saw what the insurance premiums for a middle-aged guy was for those.
Single white guy.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. Single white guy.
Pretty,
Yeah.
was it?
Woo! You know, I could afford the car payment. I just couldn't afford the insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean that kind of pushed me into smaller performance cars. Andy, it's a Dick Turbine vehicle.
Yeah, I saw that one. We'll look at the next one.
How many Confederate flags do you own?
Tattoos or real flags? What are you asking, Marco?
Oh,
I don't have a tat of a Confederate flag.
yet.
I thought about it. But that's way more redneck than I wanted to be.
I don't know.
Way more redneck than I wanted to be. But anyways, no, I have 3 tattoos. And they're all on my back.
I think you just like to you like to be. Let's see. You don't want to be out there, right?
Yeah.
With Confederate flags. You just keep things. You know, there are certain things that should be kept private.
And the reason the tats are on my back is because where I worked, I couldn't have tats showing.
Oh, okay.
So I couldn't put them on my arm. I couldn't put a forearm, whatever. So I started them on my back, and then I went from one job to the other. And the job I'm at now does not frown on tats, but I was kind of like the one that I wanted, the third one that I wanted, was way too big to put on my arm. So I put it in the middle of my back.
Okay.
Okay, so
I'm not. I would. I almost brought that one up, but said, no, don't do that.
Ask Kevin.
I'm encouraging Andy. Don't do that.
Yeah, you can ask Mr. Hale. He'll tell you.
Ooh.
So yeah, it's okay. So Marco says, "Let me guess. Let you guess what?
Keep guessing. Just keep
Tats
guessing.
that I have, or where the all you can eat is
mysteries that just should be."
Kevin who? Does it matter? Everybody else here knows who it is. If you'd show up on time, you'd know.
Yeah, really.
Because Kevin's been in chat a few times.
When's Kevin gonna get his show back on back to when's he gonna get Russ back in the saddle?
I don't know. That boy, Russ, is just not one of those that you can just rein in.
Apparently. Oh, gee, I wonder how does that work? Doesn't like to be told what to do, eh?
Yeah,
like to have his yeah.
I couldn't imagine being his age.
That is a Southern thing. And that is why it's so hard to corral Southerners into anything. Yeah. They're just so damn naturally their first response is rebellion. Their first response is the hell.
That's why we're called the rebels.
You say.
Yeah, I guess that's why they refer to them as rebels. That would do it.
Yeah, it's true. And got a little bit of that myself sometimes.
You are my woman, Kevin. Who? Okay. When did you hike your leg and piss on me? I'm just asking.
New York.
New Yorkers are just assholes. They're not rebels.
Yeah,
Sorry.
they're a whole different brand of redneck. So then they don't qualify as rednecks. They are, yeah. I guess
They're just big
they're
city
just
assholes.
They're just assholes.
And yes, Bill knows I say that about him. So you can tell that all you want. Because I make fun of him when he says "ka." He told me if I ever get to meet him in person, he's really going to make fun of me.
And ask.
So it's Boston. They don't say car keys. They say khakis. Khakis are what we wear. Pants. They're khakis.
Don't you dare ask me again.
Oh, God. That is such a black thing. Axe here.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
In the South. That's more of a ethical black thing that
Well, that's odd.
It really is.
That the two groups that
are the same.
Yeah, using the same. Oh well. See, the thing is, if we come back in 100 years, nobody will be able to understand either one of us.
That's true. It's like listening to Shakespeare.
Probably be a good thing. Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of like listening to Shakespeare. We didn't understand that either.
Yeah, in spite of the tendency to homogenize the language, I think that's breaking down. You know, I mean, all through the early times of television, they picked up that Chicago Midwest accent, and that was what all the announcers and everybody had. Okay, that was the chosen dialect. Okay, and now you go out and you can hear everything. Okay, and there and all the different dialects, and I think they're more accepted now.
Oh, sure.
That's just the way it is in this region, you know. And I think that's a good thing.
I can remember the last time that I traveled.
Diversity. Yes, diversity is a good thing.
Oh, is that what that's called?
Yes.
Sure. Okay. Not being a good human and loving everybody, but diversity. We have to embrace that in our lives. Anyway, damn government. Okay, so the last
thing governments want is true diversity. Yes.
Oh, you got that right. Let's all join hands and sing Kumbaya, but let's throw all the racial shit on the TV and piss everybody off. But anyway, the last time that I went somewhere, I traveled many, many years ago. There were several of us at a table, and we were from all different places in the U.S.
Okay.
And one of the gentlemen that was there, he was from Washington, the state of Washington.
Okay.
And he's exactly right. They train everybody to talk just like them. Newscasters, thing like that, because they really do not have an accent. Everything is... There's a lot of people from the state of Washington I know, and they do not have an accent. They don't have that Boston cockies, and they don't have that.
Well, I always thought that chosen dialect was around Chicago. But hey, I could be wrong.
Ooh, I don't know anybody from Chicago, and I don't think I want to. I've lost nothing in Illinois. Golden Corral. Yeah, whatever. Hazard County. I've been there, done that. Rode a 4-wheeler through it. Passed a few state troopers and got straight on up into the mountains. That was fun, though. Going to Hazard and riding the 4-wheelers. That was fun. That was a good time.
Okay.
We spent all day up there. Didn't hear any banjos, so it was all good.
It's been a while. It's been a while since my son and I one summer. Well, actually that summer he had 2 4-wheelers,
Uh-huh.
and we went riding. And there are a bunch of strip mines south of us
Mm-hmm.
that have all been converted into riding areas. And there's some pretty good hills down there.
Yep.
It was
Hills and
fun.
hollers.
Yep. He was surprised. Dad was jumping the 4-wheelers. Hey,
Ooh.
that's what it's for, right?
Got a little spunk in you, Charles.
Oh, did then. Thankfully, I didn't endo one. I rode motorcycles a lot, but I never.
I love dirt bikes.
Kind of got away from that before I got to before the 4-wheelers really became popular.
Man, I could have killed myself on a dirt bike. Oh, God, I loved them. Ride them down the road, and then you can just go off road and just. Yeah, I'd have killed myself if I'd have had one.
Easily one of the fastest. Well, I wouldn't say fastest because it didn't have that much top speed, but the quickest motorcycles I have ever ridden was a 125 dirt bike that my son rebuilt. That just maybe 4 years ago.
It's perfect.
And it was a Suzuki. It was really it was like 210 pounds. And he had it cranked up to like 35, 40 horsepower.
Oh, yes.
And
I could have killed myself.
I have honestly never been on, I've been on some bigger motorcycles, okay? And I've never been on anything that quick. It was just,
wow. They're wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, anytime I rode 4-wheelers, and of course, back then, before the 4-wheelers came out, they had the 3-wheelers. So,
we had one of those.
My daddy constantly, he was like, do not get on one of those. You can't ride them. You're not allowed, blah, 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 blah. I rode every one of them that I could get. I loved them. But see, we lived in the city, and everybody, all my friends lived out in the country. I had one that lived in the city, but the rest of them lived out in the country.
Those were great. Those were great fun in the snow. You get somebody on a sled or a saucer behind you and just throw them all over the place.
We did that a lot. I mean, just up until recently. Yeah. Before everybody moved away from here, it snowed. And of course, the guys that lived around here were construction, and they didn't have to go to work. And we get the 4-wheeler out, and whatever metal saucer, car hood, whatever. I mean, didn't matter.
Whatever you could hook to. Yeah.
We were slinging somebody off of one of those. And it was fun. We didn't sling them into trees. We were out in the open. Got a field. You might have had a cow pile, but it was snow covered. You wouldn't know. But yeah, that was the good old days. And it's just, I tell you what, it is amazing to me how much things have changed just for me in the last 5 years. But but when you're a kid, there's a lot of changes that happen, but it just keeps going on. So.
Yep. Oh, well. I've been trying to make up my mind whether I think some days I think I want to do it, and some days I think, nah. My son just got a new Harley. And
what kind of Harley?
It's a Road King.
Okay.
1300, whatever, 120 horsepower. It's just a Harley. And it wouldn't be the first time I ever rode one of those, but it's been a long time.
Mm.
And some days I think, yeah, I could still. I mean, no, a smaller bike, I wouldn't intimidate me at all. But well, that one plus the fact that, oh my God, if I'd scratched that, it'd kill me.
Oh,
It would,
yes.
and it would break. It would totally break my heart. But
Mhm.
maybe this summer, I will get up the courage to say, hop off. Let me take a ride.
You know, around here,
If I ask, he would. I know that he would.
do you have helmet laws there?
Yes.
We don't have them here.
Well,
I
wait.
remember when we did.
That only first year riders. First year riders have to have a helmet. After that, it's your own business.
They pretty much just have, I think here you just have to have sunglasses on and that's it. Some type of glass. It doesn't have to be sunglasses, but it has to be.
I was riding motorcycles long before the helmet law, and I've never ridden a motorcycle without a helmet.
See, I always rode off road.
I can't say that. I have ridden without a helmet, but I've never, just to take a quick ride on one. But I've never ridden the ride unless I had a helmet.
Gotcha.
Thank goodness.
I don't think I've ever been on the open road.
I had some helmets with really gnarly scratches in them. So
fun time.
Yes.
Fun times. Definitely.
Well, I don't ever think I've spilled a bike on my own. It was always some asshole in a car.
Oh yeah.
Did something that I wasn't expecting and took me out.
And that's the bad part because cars really can't see you.
Yes, that's it. They're not programmed. Their mind is not programmed to see that motorcycle.
You're looking for two headlights and
looking for a car. If you don't see a car, it's okay. Mm-hmm. Motorcycles kind of not really, And
one of my friends had his motorcycle and he was riding it at night and he was in the city. So he had that one headlight.
Yep.
And then you've got all these businesses, you've got all these street lights, you've got everything else. And he was just lost in it. And he understood it.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever the car pulled out in front of him,
yep,
and he hit it, that's kind of when he totally understood why you just don't do that at night.
Yep, that's it. If you think it's bad on a motorcycle, go out on the road on a bicycle.
Oh yes.
In particular, I had an electric bike that did about 30 miles an hour. Okay, that I had built.
Right.
And number one, I barely avoided crashes a couple of times on that. And there are really two reasons. Either they don't see you at all, or they see you and categorize you as a stationary vehicle because you're a bicycle. You're going so slow that it doesn't matter. But on an electric bicycle, you could be going 30 miles an hour. And they look at you and identify you as a bicycle and go ahead and pull out because I'll be gone long before he gets here.
Oh, right.
He's going 30 miles an hour. Okay. And he gets there a lot faster than you thought.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So Marco has ridden his Harley all over this country and Europe.
Good for you.
And then Andy's like, just get your lube ready. And tissues. So I don't know if that's talking about his, he's talking about his Harley. Andy, does Marco's Harley turn you on, honey? Just saying. Okay, so I will say this. Yeah, you're right. It's phones. But I
Yeah.
will tell you this. I can see I'll have a group of motorcycle riders in front
Mhm.
of me. Of course, I stay way the hell back off of them.
Mhm.
I mean, you just don't ever know what's going on. But I see people that will just like ride up on their ass, and I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
They just don't care. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I've never really understood that at all, but I've
Mm-mm.
definitely been there. It's
So no tissues and lube for the Harley. It's Marco, honey, I'll never meet you in person. You know that, right? Sorry. I'm not going to New York. I'm not going to Pine Bush.
Yo.
Oh, and see, Marco, you got here late enough that Justin had already bailed.
Oh my! I hadn't realized Justin has left. I was
Oh, he's been gone for a long time.
okay. Well, anyway, I suppose it's about time for us to bail. I see your glass is almost empty.
Well, I still have a little bit of this left. I saved it. This is actually for my throat because my throat's been a little.
Oh yeah, medicinal. Yes.
I left the honey out. Didn't want it to be too thick.
Oh, okay. Okay. That was honey, lemon, and bourbon. I think that was
Yes,
grandma.
warm. You got to warm it up.
Mhm.
I know you're going to Pine Bush, sweetie. I've been told by Bill and Justin and
You were here late because we had Bill on the air for a few minutes.
yeah, Bill actually called in.
So
Sweet Bill. Bill's lost a lot of weight. He looks great. I'm proud of Bill.
yes, I'm
Bill's an incredible human being.
amazed at him, really. Constantly amazed with his frenetic pace,
Mm-hmm.
constant work ethic, and his giant Rolex. He knows everybody. So yeah, Bill's always a lot of fun.
So, okay. Here we go.
3, 2,
Just
1,
to
go.
keep it going. I don't know what the hell that is, Andy. But anyways, that's my white kitty. She's a deaf girl. She's a deaf girl. Sorry, I got a text message.
So does she have a name? I can't remember.
I just call her White Kitty. She
Okay.
didn't need a name. She can't hear me.
Oh yeah, that makes sense actually. I say, oh, really? Yes, of course not.
She was dropped at my house 2 years ago. Somebody dropped her, left her. So yeah, when I figured out she's deaf, I was like, well, there's no reason to name her anything but White Kitty.
That is so Southern. That is so laid back Southern. I mean, it makes me home. It makes me homesick.
I bet it does.
Okay.
That's just like, what's your dog's name, dog? Oh, Lord, Charles, you're killing me.
Really? See, we'll always leave them laughing.
We're going to leave somebody
Or at least
laughing.
us. At least us.
Yeah.
As long as we're having a good time. You guys, yeah. Who cares?
Exactly.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, man. Okay.
Oh.
Oh, forgot. I got to keep my glasses on or my eyes burn red. You can see the demon.
Dude.
It stains. I bet it is.
My mother, when
Oh,
she was growing up, had a dog whose name was Puddles.
that's about as bad as me putting my name up there as Bubbles.
Bubbles and puddles, bubbles and puddles and clueless. Nah, not never,
Oh,
never clueless. We got to get you around on the other side of the house so we can watch the sunset as the show winds down. You know, we missed it.
oh, God. Yeah, you did.
I see it.
But see, usually this is the side the moon comes up on.
Yes. I
But
don't know
it'll
what
be
that
quite a
is.
bit later this evening
Wait,
because
okay.
the full moon's already come and gone.
Yep.
Here's your question there, Charles.
No, I can't make it to. Too many other things going on right now. I can't make it to Fine Bush this year.
He doesn't want to ride with Ron, but if you want to come pick him up on your Harley, you go right ahead.
I think I'm a little out of the way for Marco.
Where is Marco? North Carolina?
I think
North Carolina?
he keeps talking about the beach. So I'm sure he's over that way somewhere. I can't remember whether it's North Carolina or South Carolina.
Marco, please do that, and I will. Yeah, we'll send that. You can send that to Andy, and we'll have a ball with
We
that.
will send you a can of whipped cream.
Yeah, I would like to go to Pine Bush, but that's just too far away for me to drive, and I am not flying. Oh, sweet. Good for you. You know, it hurts my heart when you say you have to stop by New Jersey before you get to where you're going, because I just could not imagine. I've been to Pennsylvania. I've been through Brownsville, Pennsylvania, and it was okay, but
Brownsville, Pennsylvania.
it's like old. All the buildings there, old. And I would have loved to have been able to have stopped,
I'm not sure.
but we were driving through going to a 4-wheeler race.
Okay.
That's not redneck.
Yeah.
I'm sure it would be your treat. That's a 13-hour drive from my house.
God.
I think I mapped it out one time because I thought, yeah, I could go, but no, 13 hours. I'm not driving that far.
I'm just east of Akron in Ohio, northeastern corner, kind of the northeast corner of Ohio.
Yankee.
I'm transplanted. I was born on the other side of the river in the hills.
Gotcha. West Virginia.
Except for the man-chin thing that I don't know. He's got to be a carpetbagger. He cannot possibly be a true West Virginia, a true hillbilly. There's just no way.
It's true.
I mean, who the hell from West Virginia has a yacht?
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Lord.
That's just wrong.
Okay, so yeah, Marco. Ooh, you're a Jersey guy.
Oh God,
He's from Jersey.
I thought you were further south than that, Marco.
Well, he's from there, but now he may be
Okay.
living
Gotcha.
down south. He got smart and moved.
I've been to New Jersey, and I couldn't blame you for a bit of that.
I'm trying to think. It's funny. I've been Mexico. I've been Jamaica, Cayman Isles. Where else have I been? All down through there. He's North Carolina. But the furthest west I've been was Branson, Missouri. The furthest north I've been, I think I flew up to the Poconos for about 3 or 4 hours, and then turned around and came back home. So yeah, I'm not a very well traveled child.
I don't know. I guess except the most impressive part of the United States to me was the first time I saw the Rockies. There, that's just something that you got to see.
Yeah, well,
Other
it's
than, other than, I
all
mean,
the way out.
I've been,
I gotta plug up my computer.
I-
Hang on, it's fixing to die.
I've been,
You're back.
I've been all over. I spent like 2 years working with my brother in trucking, and after a while, one expressway looks about the same as the other, but some places have character. I really liked Miami. I don't know if I'd want to live there, but it was interesting. The Northeast, Massachusetts, that sort of thing, was what's the word? All confining, congested. Yes, interstate trucking on the road for like 3 weeks at a time. It was fun. In a way, it was also a. I don't know how people do that. I mean, you can get used to anything, but it was to do that as it gave me a great respect for people who do that. You know, it's just rough. It just is rough.
Now, I think I could, if I had the time, I mean, to take my time,
Mm-hmm.
I would go out west. And I'm almost afraid that if I ever went out west, I would never come back. Once I saw the sky, I don't think I would ever come back.
Now, the sky. Is it? It's not Montana, Wyoming. Wyoming, this big sky country.
Mm-hmm.
And going across there, we followed a thunderstorm with tornadoes for like 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
We could. It was moving. It was moving east, and we were driving east. And
Montana is big sky.
okay, Montana's who say.
Utah, I would love to go to.
You can just see it forever. I kind of liked Utah, but I basically went down through Salt Lake and down through and across Salt Lake. It's just, the people were wonderful,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. I don't know if it just didn't have that appeal to me.
I think my dad used to fly out. He had to fly out to Utah quite a bit for the coal mines that he worked for. And he said the best thing about stepping off of that airplane when you got into Utah is that there was no sinus problems. You could breathe.
Yeah, that would be true.
He said that was the best part. Dad flew to it was Canada and Utah quite a bit. My brother had taken a job. My brother was in coal mines as well, but he decided to get into limestone mining.
Mm-hmm.
And he was going to Colombia a lot. They were flying him to Colombia.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, he'd fit right in. He had that black hair and that black mustache, and all he needed was that fedora, and he'd have fit right in with the rest of the cartels. But anyway, but my brother lived in Wyoming for like a year, I think it was, and I didn't go out there. but he tried to find, he knew what the winters were like. So he said, I'm going to find the biggest house I can find because his wife and his children they just all needed to stay away from each other. And I think the winter that he was out there, it snowed once. That was it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? My dad was a stud. Once we, you know, I'm sure Mom knew. I kept trying to, for years, I kept trying to get them to do a paternity test on me to see if I was the daughter of a very wealthy man that was there in our hometown. He had coal mines and gold mines and all that stuff. And I just, because they always kept saying I looked like that other guy's daughter. And I'm like, look,
Could have been an heiress.
that's what I was going for. Dude, I'd be sad. I wouldn't have had to work a day in my life. I would love to head west, Marco. I really would, but I just don't have the capabilities.
Hey, they're always looking for truck drivers.
Yeah, this is true. But, you know what? We had so many different mailmen, it wouldn't have mattered, Marco. We couldn't have traced it. My eyes are brown. I'm as full of shit as it can be. So,
Yeah,
every bit of it.
but I will say this, and even though I've lived most of my life in Ohio here, I still have a thing when I go back into West Virginia. It's just something about those mountains that just draws me in. So I guess you get imprinted when you're very young.
Yes.
And that's home. That's what home should look like. So always like the hills.
I drove when we were in Harlan, Kentucky. I got claustrophobic because number one, you're not going to see the sun until it's noon.
Yeah.
And unless you're in the mountains, but when you're down there, it's like I thought, oh my gosh, if I could I couldn't handle it. I don't. And I've never been a claustrophobic person.
You're talking about your aloneness thing, being by yourself thing. The best vacation I ever took was I did 10 days on the upper Elk River by myself with a canoe and a tent.
Yes.
And I probably, after I put in, I talked to somebody that day, and like 7 days. In 7 days, I had zero conversation. Hardly even saw anyone. And I was making my way back to camp after fishing all day and puttering around. And here's these two old guys sitting on lawn chairs on the bank fishing. It was this, hey, Jordy, that boy out there, what? He paddles just like an Indian.
Oh, Lord.
How you carry over the water, I can hear him 2 yards away.
And they don't know that sound carries over water so well.
And I wanted to say, why, thank you, sir. My grandmother taught me to paddle this canoe, and she was an Indian.
There you go. And he would have been pretty shocked.
Undoubtedly.
Okay, so how come there are no ice cubes in Poland? Why do you know this? Why is this trivia you know? I don't understand.
The recipe? Oh, my God. They lost the recipe.
Yeah, he's from Jersey.
Okay, folks, I think now we're going to go ahead and shut her down. My God, we're 2.5 hours. going to start expecting this.
We're going to have to start editing shit now.
Maria, go out and have some fun. Have supper. I'm going to go looking for something to eat.
I think I'm just going to finish my bourbon and be done with it tonight. Go take a hot bath with some of AJ's bath salts that I get from her.
Send me some of those. I need
Awesome.
I think I need it.
I haven't bought any from her in a while, and I need to buy some more.
We'll have to have her send you a care package.
The Sacred Raven is where you can get her bath salts, and she's got them for every phase of the moon. You can just, they're just awesome, just wonderful. But anyway, I'm such a girl when it comes to that.
There you go. See, the
Coyotes have started in the distance, so now she's talking.
La 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 la. My tongue is sticking to the roof of my mouth. The coyotes are coming in. So, and I'm jealous of your bourbon. So we're gonna call it a night. Thank you everybody for being here. And
thanks, Marco, for finally showing up.
So good night, all.
Night.
Good night, Maria, and thank you.
Good night.